What we got?
Remind
me to thank my girlfriend this week. Big head.
What? Why am I a jerk?
Because you never. Wait, are we on?
I don't know. What does that mean? Oh, I forgot the intro. What's up?
Can they hear us?
It kind of helped them advance. I mean, do you think this is a conspiracy?
Gotta go with Jacob Butter. Gotta go lefty.
No, we're talking about the players as tournament champions into the podcast.
There he is, right there.
Oh, he doesn't even know how to watch. Go to youtube.com and search Down Lane Podcast. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Down Lane Podcast. We are streaming live from the lab at Town and Country Lanes. I'm your host, Kyle Haines, and with me is the assistant to the host, Anthony Scaccia.
Welcome all. It's great to be back on the show again. This is my probably 20th time being the guest. Appreciate you having me on every week.
Oh, you're a jerk. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from our channel. You can share with your friends. We are on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all that good stuff.
All the socials.
All the socials. We got some new reels up there this week if you guys did not see them. And let's see. You can also listen on your favorite podcast outlet. So don't forget about that. And while you're doing that, you can give us a 5-star review. Pretty please. Also, if you guys want to send us some love, you can visit our merch shop on Etsy. The link is in the show notes. And if you'd like to sponsor the show, we would love to have you. We need that support. And you can email us at downlanepod@gmail.com. Don't forget to comment to us during the show. We will chat with you. Oh, excuse me. We will chat with you,
Thank you,
and take your questions live.
That's better. That sounded a little bit better. You were getting a little stuck in your ways there.
Yeah, I was a little mellow. You're right.
You
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will keep up.
Let's get ready to
attitude.
Rumble.
On today's episode, we're going to get to a bunch of news, some breaking news as of today.
Breaking news. Are we breaking the news?
Nah, it's already broken. We're just going to discuss it.
We'll
talk a little bit about our week and the bowling that we did.
We tried.
And we're going to play a brand new game on the show this week. This is our brand new segment that we're going to play later on this evening.
Sweep the rack.
No.
Was that what it was called?
No. And we'll talk about what we should all be doing at the midpoint of the season. All right, so that's what's on the docket for today, as well as Bowler of the Week.
It's like his docket.
Docket? It's like the schedule for a courtroom.
Why did you just say that? This isn't a courtroom. It's a pro shop. It's on the agenda.
It's pretty used nomenclature in the world. You know
Austin,
what I mean?
can you believe this guy? Nomenclature.
Let's get to this week's poll question, which was, it is mid-season. Are you buying any new equipment? What do you think the answer was?
100% yes.
You would like to think so.
It's not 100% yes?
No, 78% said yes, and that leaves 22% saying no.
Wow, that's surprising. Because I know in this room alone, there is 3, 4, 5 bowling balls being drilled.
First week of the season, and we're getting some new rocks.
Mine has already came in, but I'm going to count it as a New Year release. because they don't come out till 128. But we got luckily, I'm fortunate enough to get them a little early, play with them. And you're drilling 2? No, you're drilling 1, and you're keeping another one. And Austin is also drilling 1.
I mean, it's still technically drilling 2. It's just which 2, I know what they are, but we'll get to that later.
Oh, okay.
Since that we'll be talking about that for the mid-season. So it's officially 2022. Last week was our last show of the year, 2021. Sound effects provided by Anthony. And I just want to say it's a new year, and it's not a new me. I'm just going to keep the same old me.
I set a lot of goals for myself. I'm probably going to try and hit the gym 4, 5, 6, 7 times a week. I'm going to eat healthier.
So this is what I normally do every single year. I don't necessarily do well, at least this year I'm not doing like a resolution, if you will. If you guys want to tell us what your resolutions are, we'd love to see them, and we'll chat about those. But basically every year I do the same exact cycle. So at the end of the year, November, December, and those 2 months are probably the fattest months of the year for me. You got Thanksgiving dinner, you got all of the baked goods and the delicious foods throughout those 2 months and that holiday season, and I get enormous. So when January 1st comes, again, it's not a resolution, but I absolutely start eating healthy, and it's the worst. I hate eating healthy.
I do know how to control myself.
Do you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So I stopped eating sweets during that time, and I eat more pasta.
They're both types of sugars, but I guess one could be potentially a little healthy. I don't know.
They're not healthy at all,
yeah,
but they taste
pasta's
good.
Not good.
Pasta's great for you.
Yeah, so basically I just get really hungry throughout the month of January and February, and then probably give up at some point, once it starts getting warm.
Good for you.
You have barbecue food, and I love food, for anybody that doesn't know me. So this week we bowled up at Glens Falls in the New Year's Day tournament.
New Year's Day.
One of us had a great day, and one of us had the complete opposite.
You still beat some people.
I beat a couple people, but I'd like to say that I held the tournament up on my shoulders.
You did. You kind of just it was rough waters, and you were totally keeping us grounded. Like we weren't moving.
An anchor, you mean?
I didn't want to say you said it, but yeah, more like an anchor.
Well, the good thing is it wasn't a team event, and it was singles.
It was singles.
And Anthony came in 4th place, tied for 4th.
Tied for 4th.
It was
quite the dramatic tied for 4th.
Oh, yeah. I was there.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I didn't think it was hard.
No.
But, I mean, I'm left-handed.
There were a few people that, shot some scores. I was not one of them.
Yeah, the scores I thought were right on pace where they should have been for a tournament like that.
I agree.
So it was nice, it wasn't too high scoring, which is when I typically don't make it because I'm a spare shooter and a spare shooter only, except on a few spares this weekend. But I heard a lot of people were a little grumpy at how the lanes were fairly tough.
I did not see that, but
some people were kind of like, "Oh, they're really hard."
Huh?
They were a little,
Yeah, I think they were totally playable. I was having mechanical problems basically with my arm swing and my hand position, and I couldn't get a ball off my hand the same way twice.
Yeah, you think way too much. I've been throwing a piece of garbage for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Maybe not 2 years. Been throwing pretty bad for
But my point is, it wasn't just the thinking.
You put it aside.
It was, I couldn't do the same thing twice. So if you're throwing it bad, but you can throw it bad consistently, you might be able to actually get close to even. But when you're throwing it bad every other shot in a different way, there's just no way to get over that.
I combated that with urethane.
Right. I did try that, and I did not have a great look until the end of the day because they were a little fresh in the beginning. I couldn't get the urethane to work. But I think, what happened, though, is we came in Wednesday night. We did some practice on a 2.2 and a 5-to-1.
Ratio pattern for those of you that aren't following.
2 different patterns we bowled on, and both of them I could score on. Obviously, the 5-to-1 is easy, but quote unquote, I shouldn't say it's easy.
For you, it's easier.
It's easier
with your skill set
than a 2-to-1.
Absolutely.
But what I found was that I just need to keep my hand in the same position every shot, and not try to do too much on the ball, because that's where I start losing.
How old are you?
I'm 35. Why?
35 years in, Austin. He finally figured out not to try to move his hand around too much. Try to keep it consistent. It's earlier than some other people.
Well, what do they always say? They always say less is more. Right. Exactly. So
you don't have to do as much with the bowling balls nowadays.
Exactly right.
You can drill them stronger. You can drill them weaker. So as long as you can stay, pretty relevant, pretty close to the same thing. I was going to use a big word, but it didn't work. As long as you can stay pretty close to what you're doing every shot, you can repeat it halfway decent. You can just drill a ball for not the condition, but to give you the desired reaction you're looking for. About all I do.
Yeah.
Because I stink.
You're okay.
But it was good.
The best I'll do for you.
It was that's fair enough. I could get pretty far left on that shot, and I played pretty close to the gutter. I thought I was pretty close to the gutter. Usually when you say you're pretty close to the gutter, you're not close to the gutter. But I was.
Yeah, but lefties are naturally close to the gutter anyway. Most of the time.
Right. Most lefties, not myself as often, but we actually bowled in the tournament a few weeks ago. We talked about the Diggers doubles.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, I'm not even close to the gutter. My dad's like, you're not even close. And then I finally moved on the gutter. I'm like, wow, I'm finally on the gutter. So I think I was off the gutter a little bit, but I was trying to play a little closer to the edge.
Yeah. And not to get into this again, but again, that's where, house shots come into play, where you're so used to being able to bank the ball,
right?
And then you got to get to the gutter, and all of a sudden now you're not doing it as much, and it feels abnormal. It feels weird.
The good thing is I like being there because it keeps me really straight. So
yeah,
and I prefer to play the lane straight. So I used 2 different urethane balls while we were there. I used a new double cross, and yes, it's everything it's advertised as. It's charcoal. It hooks very early, very purple hammery, but it's about. I feel like it's 2 feet earlier. I don't really know if it is, but it's noticeably earlier and has pretty good continuation down lane. And then I switched to purple. Floyd says he loves lefty love. Then the back 3. It's a 6-game sweeper. The back 3 I switched to purple, and the purple ended up just giving me a little bit more of a higher scoring pace. I don't know if it's because it's a purple hammer and it's really that much different. I mean, their covers are very similar. There's a little bit difference in the cores and the hardnesses of the ball, but still, I was very surprised with how good it rolled. So those balls gave me a good shot all day. Kept me just close, and that's all I was good at.
But that's all you need to do is just try to stay close.
Yeah.
I literally played every board on the right side of the lane.
Pretty sure I saw you playing everywhere. We'll agree with you.
Yes.
I watched you bowl quite a bit, and I was like, why is he over there now? Whoa, why did he move that far that way? Okay, then.
It wasn't like every other frame,
right?
But
I looked down periodically.
Yeah.
It was not a lot because I was so focused on grinding out my 212 every game basically to keep me close. But I looked down. It looked like I didn't really know what your score was, but I'm like, I don't know if he's really bowling that good. But I didn't see you get angry like normal Kyle. So I was like, well, maybe he's bowling halfway decent. And then we got done. And I said, well, how'd you do? And you were like, yeah, this is really bad. And I was like, okay.
If you recall, though, when I'm bowling in a serious tournament, I tend to stay pretty well under control. It's on bumpers that I do not have it. Listen,
I'm not going to say that I don't, but we went to Aniba and you literally were praising the heavens after one shot. And then the next shot you were like...
Yeah, but I wasn't on fire like normal.
No, but then you were very upset on the next one, like yelling at yourself verbally.
That was also the easy shot too.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's why, yeah. Anyway, all that being said, I suck. Anthony did good.
I did okay.
Let's get to the news. Breaking news as of yesterday.
We should get a breaking news screen.
Thank you. So Coley, I forget how to say her name, who is the CEO of the PBA Tour, announced that she is stepping down effective, January 21st. So
new job?
I say let's speculate.
Oh, Jesus.
let's just put a whole bunch of stuff out there and maybe something will stick.
I'm assuming she just got a new job that's a little more attractive.
Right.
Probably more money.
Do you think that she's staying?
She did a good job with
she's
PBA?
Staying in Bolero, or do you think that she's leaving Bolero?
Oh, definitely leaving Bolero.
I think so.
I don't know. I don't know how much you can really pay these people. Now I wonder if she's with Bolero. I wonder if this is a direct related move to going public.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. So like 2 weeks after the company goes public, all of a sudden they're probably looking through the books a little bit more with a fine-tooth comb, and they find that there's a commissioner of the PBA and a CEO of the PBA. So I'm wondering if they're like,
Right.
who can we keep? Who is cheaper?
Right.
And and end up maybe Tom Clark's cheaper, and maybe he's just going to run the PBA like he has been, and
Right.
they're not going to replace her.
Right. And you do have some good notes. She did get the Fox Sports contract.
Mm-hmm.
She got a ton of technology on the TV shows, which is
Yeah,
better.
like all those LED screens and stuff. It made it look really nice.
Right. It's more of a. It's a little flashy for me, but I think with today's day and age, it has to be flashy.
Agreed. That's a good point.
So I think that's she did a really good job. So I don't necessarily think that she's staying with Bolero. If anything, she probably got a better job offer at a different type of whatever she's doing. And because they saw what she did with the PBA and how well my opinion, how well it went with everything, how much more,
except the
informative
website.
it is. Okay, God forbid a website. I'm talking about the TV. They're probably going to be like, oh, well, she did a really good job with that. She brought a lot of new ideas, fresh ideas.
Things that they noticed.
Yeah, exactly. The real things that people look at.
Yeah.
Then maybe they brought her in and gave her a good amount of cash. Yeah. That's my guess.
The only reason why I think that she might be staying in Bolero in a different role is because I don't think in any of her public posts she said anything like "thank you to Bolero for all of the opportunities."
Maybe she doesn't like them.
It was more like, wait,
maybe there was
in the coming days we'll be announcing my next move or whatever it was. I forget exactly
she's
how
not
she
ready
worded
to
it.
say. Maybe they had a falling out.
Maybe.
You're checking the live update. There's nothing there.
There's nothing there. I just wanted to check. But it does say that the PBA will continue to be run by its senior leadership team, including Commissioner Tom Clark, and then the rest of the board there. It says a successor to Edison has yet to be named. So maybe, I'd like to speculate. I think they're going to keep Tom Clark in his position and keep him the
an
CEO
assistant to the commissioner. Assistant to the commissioner.
Not sure why you need a CEO and a commissioner. Like the CEO of Bolero is in charge of Bolero. They own the PBA. Tom Clark is the commissioner of the PBA. It just makes sense that why would there be another CEO? I get it's another company the PBA is.
Going to the WNBA was a floated out rumor.
Oh.
Was floated out as a rumor.
Paige is on the inside, Paige Nelson.
I don't know. I'm sorry, but I just don't. WNBA.
Well, maybe they're looking to get more exposure.
I know, but I just.
And she's the route to do it.
Sure.
Let's not argue about the WBA.
That's why I didn't say anything.
WNBA. But anyway, hopefully whoever's picked does a good job.
Hopefully
and
she
gets
has
this
success,
website updated.
And hopefully she has success in her next opportunity.
That's right. Absolutely. As we talked about last week, Team USA trials are going on this week. What we did not mention is that the RPI, the Regional Players Invitational for the PBA, is also this week.
Same time, same place.
Literally both at the same time in Las Vegas.
Same center.
No. RPI was at South Point, and the
team trials.
The Team USA trials were at not Gold Coast. What's the other one out there? Orleans? It was either Gold Coast or Orleans. I can't remember. Maybe Gold Coast. But anyway, why would you not communicate? I'm sure that there's regional players that would want to try out for Team USA, right? Like,
yeah, but the way I look at it is it's probably better because your better bowlers went to Team USA. So your more professional players or guys who might be on that upper echelon. Is that a good word to use?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And the RPI, maybe guys who aren't looking to go be Team USA but are extremely good and extremely talented. It's just they're not really looking for Team USA. I mean, the other thing too is Team USA. I was watching Brad and Kyle's video. Kyle said he loves bowling Team USA, but he's like, you don't get any money.
Right.
Like it's kind of like a for fun thing.
This is their job.
Yeah. So he's going out there. Gold Coast it was at, by the way.
I knew I had one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't know. Yeah. Anyways, so the way I look at it is the guys who probably bowl the regionals, maybe they think, yeah, I can compete, but I'd rather bowl for, I think it's $20,000 for first place. And I believe the prize fund had at least $100,000 being handed out. So that's what I did do a little bit of looking at it. Because I think I'm going to do it next year. I'm going to make the RPI. What do you think?
Yeah, you got to bowl in at least one regional. I mean, like, when's the last time you bowled in one?
Never.
Right.
Yeah, but you also have to get enough points. You can't just go.
No, I understand.
Right?
I understand.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you didn't. You didn't say that.
You have to be invited to the RPI.
Well, I mean, they would invite me because I'm awesome.
Not sure that's how that works.
Well, entertainment. Like, oh, look at this guy. How bad can you be? You know?
Yeah, bad.
So,
but speaking of the RPI, Carlos Granados.
Yeah, he did win, didn't
won
he?
the Invitational.
He's from the Central region, right? Am I right?
Let me give you the deets. He's a South Region Rookie of the Year. Won the RPI, and defeated Joe Bailey in the championship match, 228 to 211. And he did leave a 4.610 and made it, which gave him the advantage. 4.6, 10.
Wow, he made that?
Yeah, he bounced. He said he threw it as hard as I could and hoped for a lucky bounce.
Thank you.
Yeah. And he said he never made that in his life. So
was that to win?
It wasn't to win, but
momentum.
Yeah, exactly, because he needed a strike in the first, in the 10th to win. But that was a $20,000 first prize.
Yeah, it was good.
So when you're a regional player, that's pretty big.
Yeah, that's a great prize fund. It pays for your trip, I'm sure. I don't think that's paid for by anybody. I'm sure that's just out of pocket of the player. So $20,000,
right.
that'll pay.
The travel.
Yeah, the travel's gonna be all that. So that's great for him. Good for him. That's $20,000. Won the RPI in Vegas. That's a free trip. I wonder how much he gambled after that. See if you could try to make it into like 100,000.
Put it all on black and see what happens.
Just one shot.
And then let's see, he gets to compete in the PBA Players Championship.
Oh, good for him.
On the 15th and 16th, which is also the date of our next tournament club
Event coming up the 15th and 16th.
So then, since we were talking about Team USA and the RPI, we do have the results of Team USA as of round 3. And the men, you got Trent Mitchell of Chicago, Illinois, Darren Tang, Las Vegas, AJ Johnson, Oswego, Illinois, Kyle Troop. We all know who these people are. You know what's interesting? I thought there's a lot of people that you don't know that are from Las Vegas. I wonder if they are just very familiar with Gold Coast and they know the lanes very good or very well. And
I mean, it's a possibility, but also
they might also just be really good. But
also the advantage is they don't have to travel anywhere.
Right,
it's right in their backyard.
Well, yeah, they don't have jet lag.
Right,
they know the place. They only have to travel half hour to get there every day.
Well, they might have to travel a half hour to get there every day.
Right,
but they don't have to travel 7 hours to get to Las Vegas.
Right.
And
then for the women, Shannon Pluhowski, who always lights it up, is in first. I think this is let me make sure this is number 3 because I thought it was. Yeah, it was. I thought it was O'Keefe, but anyway, Julia Bond, Ashley Rucker, Hope Gramley, Brianna Cote.
Shannon O'Keefe did lead.
Shannon
today,
O'Keefe is in 6th. Maybe that's what I was seeing.
She led the squad today.
The squad, but not overall. Missy Parkin. I mean, all the ladies that are the top of the PWBA are kicking butt here, which is not a surprise.
Right.
All right.
Very good. I like that.
We just wanted to make sure everybody knows what's going on out in the world. Speaking of more news, this week, every first of the year, we get all of the social media posts.
The social media posts, yes.
Of who's moving where.
It is fun because we actually were, it's fun because we were bowling.
Yep.
And we heard all these guys talking about it. And I hadn't looked at it really one bit. I scrolled through my socials in the morning because we left, 9:30ish.
Yep.
But I wasn't paying attention, and we saw a few things and we're like, oh, that's weird. And then everybody at the bowling alley is talking about it. I'm like, man.
Oh, did you see they went to there and he went to there and she went to there? Yeah, everybody was all
up in arms about it.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. And then we didn't really talk to anybody about it. We actually talked about other things.
Yeah.
To other people. Different.
Maybe about the last podcast episode we talked to a couple of people about.
Yeah. Yeet, as we say.
But let's talk about a couple of big surprises, right?
Yeah. Number 1 surprise, Shannon O'Keefe going from hammer to rotogrip.
Yeah. Back to her original Storm home.
Yeah, was rotogrip back in the day. Went to hammer, bowled great, and really the top player in the world for the past 2 or 3, 4, whatever it is for
Yeah.
the women. Like she's really been, I mean, who else has really won as much as her and a lot of success. And now she's going to go back to Roto, which
Right.
I'm sure she's a really good bowler, so she'll be fine. But
There,
I'm a little surprised.
If she, no offense to Motive, but if she said I was going to Motive, I'd be real worried about, you know, not having as much of a arsenal to go with.
Yeah.
Motive isn't like you've got like 2 guys that win with it all the time. I don't see any ladies really.
I don't even know if they have
it, right.
Do
They might not even sponsor the PWBA. But anyway, since she's going to Storm Roto Grip, I don't think she's going to have any issues. She didn't when she started, and
there'll be plenty of bowling balls. Storm has plenty of good equipment. Just a different name on it, I guess. You know, it'll take a left-hand turn somewhere.
It sure will. The other big surprise,
Andrew Anderson was the bigger surprise out of everybody. Going from Radical, like he was probably their face.
Yeah.
Right. Their big guy.
Right.
And he went to Motive, which I could get it if he went to Storm or something, but Motive.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Well, he is from Michigan.
Right.
So maybe he got a pretty good contract or something. So I don't really know, but I was kind of surprised because I thought that he fared pretty well with the Brunswick stuff. What did he win last year? He won the singles for USBC Open Championships.
Oh, right.
He shot like 816. So good for him. He seems like he's pretty happy. People have been roasting him pretty hard actually on the social media.
Have they?
I've seen a few people who were kind of like mad about it. So I don't know.
People that like don't matter.
Probably. Like us.
Yeah, like our opinions don't matter. Neither do the people.
Yeah, I mean, hey, right
on the socials.
So good luck to him. He's a good bowler, so I'm sure he'll be all right. And then we had some other people. Who did we have? We had Andrew Chapman. He went from Storm to Ebonite.
AJ.
He was actually. Did I say AJ?
No, you said Andrew.
Hey, sorry, I looked at the wrong line. And AJ Chapman. Almost said it again. He was Ebonite player back in the day. Went from Storm back to Ebonite. Nick Pate, which was a little surprising too. He went from Storm to Hammer. So Hammer's got Bill O'Neill and Nick Pate now. Nick Pate seems like a pretty good guy to hang out with. Kind of just a wacko.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like myself, just an absolute goober. We'd probably get along great, so it's cool to see that he's bowling for Hammer. I'm gonna pretend to be him every time I bowl now. Missy Parkin, a little surprise. Columbia to Storm. Claudia Guerrero went to Storm, and there is one more player that we did not. We did see an announcement from.
There was an announcement out there, but you didn't have it on the list initially. So I just want to make sure that everybody's aware of probably the biggest announcement.
Well, I can't believe that people missed this announcement. This is probably the biggest player since Dick Allen. No, yes, Dick Weber.
Dick Weber.
Sorry, Dick Weber.
Yeah. So the biggest move out there of the first of the year.
Kyle Haines, going from unsponsored to sponsored by the company Me, which is himself. And if you don't know what the reference is,
if you ain't first, you're last.
If anybody doesn't know what that is a cougar. And
there's a cougar in the car.
Will Ferrell in Talladega Nights, he actually sponsors himself in the racing, and that's his hood. So, yeah, Kyle had to do that. And actually, you know what? Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Pretty hilarious. People loved it that saw it. And, Anthony Levery-Spar went to Swag Bowling.
Yeah.
Which is California Bowling, which is like Lord Field. I'm pretty sure like Lane 1 or I think
all of them just combined. All the ones that didn't make it.
Yeah, it was. But I think Swag is like their own kind of like they are the biggest one out of it. And they just got PBA approved. So that's their big player. I did actually drill a Swag
Are they made
ball
by
today.
EBI?
No, they're made in California.
They're
made in Korea. They're made in Korea. I drilled the ball today and I had my bevel sander in it and it was sparking on the inside.
They use a rock?
I don't know. It might be metal. They might have some metal in there. It was actually sparking. I mean, the ball rolled really good for the guy because J.R. Raymond throws a lot of these balls. So
for his reviews?
Yeah, so one of the guys that is in the tournament club brought it in, said, this guy loved this ball. I want to drill it. I said, okay, no problem. And we drilled it. And I was like, whoa, this thing's wild. And it actually rolled phenomenal.
Really?
But yeah, it was pretty cool. You should try it. Maybe you can get on their staff. Because then you can have
looking for new people.
Me and then Swag underneath it. So people are like, what the heck is Me Swag?
Well, I just want to let everybody know that I sponsor myself. So it's all me, baby.
Congratulations.
All me.
Well, I mean, it makes sense after this weekend. I mean,
So just released today. Shut up. Just released today. Chad Murphy dispatched his 2021 year in review and 2022 outlook. There's a lot to unpack in there, so I'm just going to, kind of give my couple of cents on a couple of things.
your 2 cents.
Yeah. And 2 things that stood out for me was, with no information, but at least a reference to it, they are going to be somewhat upheaving and changing the youth program nationally. It said leagues for USBC youth will be changed. We still don't know what that means because there is zero information about it.
I'm assuming that there's not going to be a lot of information until probably May or June, where you have to actually reform your league. I do agree that the junior league does need an overhaul. We've talked about it in our one episode. We'll see where it goes. I mean, hopefully they're going to take the lane pattern and make it, make these kids bowl on a 6-1 or a 5-1, if that, to try and introduce the challenge sport or make it a little bit harder. So that way it's a little more competitive.
And I'd like to see a competitive league structure too.
Well, there is. I know a few people do have like a, how we have our scratch leagues here. Some people do have like a scratch league on a challenge shot that that they have the kids bowling, and it's more of like your better players, more competitive. I know some people offer some different levels of junior programs. One is just bowling, and the other one has coaching with it. So you have to pay a little more for that to get the coaching. But I'm not really sure how else everybody else does it. We just have one big program. It would be nice to have a little bit of a little bit more of a structured junior program nationally, just so we can kind of see everybody have the same kind of thing. Yeah, and Mark Taylor puts the nail on the head, or whatever the heck it is. The youth clinic or the youth bowling needs more clinic and teaching based programs.
You're like Biff from Back to the Future, where he's like, he said, I forget even what he says, but he totally screws up all of the sayings.
I said nail on the head, didn't I? Well,
man.
At least you're getting authenticity out of me. Because if you ever meet me, typically I'm the same exact way.
Yeah. No, this is not different.
But yeah, Mark Taylor's right. More clinics, more teaching-based youth programs, and I think we just have to kind of advertise bowling as a sport more with the other extracurricular activities, your junior gold, CDYSTs, your youth travel, your challenge travel leagues, whatever you have in your area. Hopefully that, maybe they make a little emphasis on, hey guys, trying to be a little more competitive here and give these kids a harder shot just to grow up on, so that way we can kind of get away from some other house shot stuff in the future.
That's right. Bobby Shades 31, make like a tree and get out of here. That's right. That's what I was referencing. Thank you. So yeah, I completely agree with changing the youth programs, and hopefully it's more of a uniform structure. That would be great. The other thing,
hopefully the uniform structure is good.
Well, right. They're not announcing it till the summer. They have their final plans in action right now.
Hopefully we get to see what they're going to do in April.
That's what I'm hoping when we get invited to Vegas for the convention.
If you're watching USBC, you want us there.
You do.
Kyle has a 4-step program.
Is it only 4?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Okay. And then the other thing I wanted to just touch on real quick about the USBC announcement was that they have a section for technology, and literally the only thing that they brought up for the entire thing was string pins, which we already know about. They're probably going to have a separate sanction, one for free fall bowling and one for string pins.
Whatever. It's all the same.
Stop your whining. It's not all the same. Not even close. But basically, I would have liked to have seen at least, here's what we're going to be doing in 2022, maybe for bowling balls or lane patterns.
Yeah, but the bowling balls are already out of the cat's out of the bag.
I know that. But
you can't do. Oh, well, hold on a second.
That's not entirely true. You're right.
Right. So they did increase the hardness level on the bowling ball. So your purple hammer, where everybody said, "Oh, this ball's illegal," blah 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 blah. It's too soft. They did actually make the hardness level is not allowed to be what it is what
'Cause
it
it's-
was, because it's too soft. It was like 69.
Yeah, they made the
68 or
bowling
something
ball
like that.
to be very close to the maximum softness level.
Right.
And what happens with urethane is that as it's used, it actually becomes softer.
Right. So people were complaining about that. Was it legal? Was it not? They tested a bunch of them, and so they actually they increased the durometer. The ball can't be as soft as it used to be. Now it's going to be 73. From what I understand, because as we were talking about with the double cross coming out of the Radical double cross, which is a urethane ball, it is very similar to the purple cover stock. It is the same blend. The only thing is that it's a little bit harder because the hardness levels change December 31st. After December 31st, January 1st, everything couldn't be, if it wasn't approved, then it had to be the new hardness level, which is 73. Did I make any sense there? I kind of lost myself.
I think so. But so basically, is the purple grandfathered in? Are they still going to make it?
So I'm assuming balls that have already been made, you can't take out of market, and they're already been approved. So I'm assuming they're just going to stay as is. But I will ask Dave Wadka and see what the deal is, because if they're definitely not going to take the ball out of product line, because the ball's obviously
one of the most popular balls.
It's the best
of
urethane
all
ball on the
time.
market. It's
Yeah.
not even close. Well, right now I think it's still the best, and it's been proven. So I'm assuming that if they have to do anything, they'll just make it a little harder. But I don't think if it's already approved, it's going to be grandfathered in. So, but I'll ask and see if we can get a little more information on it, because if that's the case, I did hear somebody say that they're going to have to stop producing them at that softness level in July, which means I'm going to buy like 2 purple hammers every week so I can get the softer ones. But I will say that the new one, the double cross, was not. It hooked earlier, which is typically when they're softer, they hook earlier because they're able to grab the lane. So I had a stronger core too, but it really wasn't that bad. So I don't think it's going to be a huge deal. I think they're just trying to make it, because when they do get softer, the 68 or 7 or 9 or whatever the heck it is, it's soft enough. So that is a change that I don't think that people really know.
Right. Or hopefully we're ready for, because if they, Carl Buckley says it, a rumor he heard was that they're going to have a list of serial numbers that are no longer going to be able to be used, which if that's the case, it's probably almost all of the new ones.
Well, that's funny, because the only thing that would really affect is bowling balls that will actually check your serial numbers. PBA regionals and PBA events. Yeah. They don't check your serial code number and anything else.
They don't even check it at the Open Championships. They just check your
just
finger grips to make sure they're not too tall.
Yeah.
That's literally all they checked.
I don't think they're going to do that, because if you look at the weight holes, they allowed all those bowling balls to go through.
They checked my serial numbers.
They checked your serial numbers?
They didn't check to make sure they were legit numbers.
Oh, no. They have to they have to look at them to make sure that they're visible.
Right.
If they're not visible, you can't use the ball.
But unless maybe this year they will find a purple and say, "Oh, I got to make sure it doesn't fall within these numbers."
Well, then you're drilling me a new purple before I bowl, and you're gonna buy me another one.
All right, let's get to our brand new segment before we run out of time here. Austin, are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
I don't know if your audio's up, because I'm having a hard time hearing you.
That ain't better.
No.
Nice. Better now.
I can hear you like a whisper.
Well, turn your headphones up.
All right, there you are. All right, go, Austin. You ready? Go for it.
I'm ready. So, the new segment is called Guess Their Earnings. In Guess Their Earnings, contestants will be given the name and brief history of a PBA or PWBA player. Then each contestant must guess what their career earnings are. The contestant with the lowest total and difference to the actual amount will win. Are you ready to play Guess Their Answers?
Guess their earnings? I got it.
Yeah, earnings.
Wait, so who's going to do all this math?
Austin, are you prepared for this?
Yeah. We'll make it work.
There you go. So do you get how we play?
Yeah, you're going to tell me who it is. If it's Bill O'Neill, I got to guess how much his career earnings is.
Right.
How many players are there on here?
I think we have 6.
There's 6.
What do we do if I win?
You get a point.
Exactly.
Are you talking overall or for
need.
each one?
You buy me dinner.
There we go. I'll buy some French fries from the snack bar.
And if you win, I will take your children for one night.
That's very weird sounding.
Yeah.
Babysit, you mean?
Yeah, like at
He
my
means
house,
babysit.
you cannot have to deal with them.
Got it. Okay,
All right, gentlemen.
here we go.
All right. This bowler has 8 national tour and 3 senior tour titles and holds the PBA record for consecutive 200 games with 79. He is
Wow.
Mike Scroggins.
Ooh.
Who picked these people?
Our research analyst, Charlie Hewitt.
Mike Scroggins. All I know is he looks absolutely crazy, and he's left-handed. It's before my time.
So let's see here.
His career earnings.
Yeah, but he was big in the early 2000s. Left-handed. He did win a bunch. It was crazy. He had that big giant glove on his hand.
Ken Duggar.
Kind of. But it was like I think it was like a leather one. I don't think it was a
Awesome.
robot arm.
I'm ready to lock in my answer.
Lock in your answer. Go ahead.
Lock it in.
No cheating, Carl. I don't know if that's right.
Hopefully it's not right. I'm gonna say $932,378.
Can you go ahead and tell me how many titles again he had?
He has 8 national tour and 3 senior tour titles.
Let's see here.
I'm assuming that his career is also regional.
Well, yeah. But I mean, that's a couple $1,000s here and there. Okay.
Austin, did you write mine down?
Yep.
Because I don't even remember what I said.
I'm going to go lower, and I'm going to say 851,633.
You guys are very precise. I don't think you need the last 3.
Listen, if it comes down to the last dollar, then you'll know how important that was.
Potentially. All right. Mike Scroggins has totaled $1.56 million on tour.
I'm so much closer than you are.
Yeah.
I figured it was $1 million, but I didn't think he was that much over $1 million.
Yeah, I didn't think he got to $1 million, though, just based
So
on those
Anthony
numbers, too.
takes round 1.
You gotta remember, we didn't say anything about regionals or anything. Sure that counts.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
next.
Wait. Did you do the math?
Yeah, you won.
Well, yeah, I picked 800, or I had 851,000.
You were
I thought
like
it was-
600,000 off, Anthony. Kyle was like 720,000
There you
off.
go.
That's all I need.
Okay, next.
Number 2. This bowler has 13 national tour titles and was the first to win multiple gold medals at the WTBA World Championships. He is friend of the show, Bill O'Neill.
Oh. Even though he has 13 tour titles, I don't know that.
Locking in my answer of 1.75.
I was going to say, I don't know that he has that much more than $1 million. I'm going to say 1.45 million.
Of course you're gonna say that because you're trying to keep
All
it
right.
close.
Our friend of the show, Billy O, has amounted $1.32 million.
Nice.
Kyle, that was within $20,000 or
There you go.
$200,000.
That's right. What would you say? 1.3 what?
1.32.
Nice.
So how close am I to Kyle?
Not close. 400,000.
Yeah.
300,000.
I'm close.
All right.
All right.
What do we got next?
Number 3. This bowler has 29 national tour titles, 373 cashes, and was the first bowler to win the Grand Slam, which is the U.S. Open, Masters, and PBA National World Championship, and the Tournament of Champions. He is Mike Galby.
Mike Albee. Ooh. He's got to be in the Millionaire Club. He has to be. I mean, he's like
He's got 330 cashes, he just said.
330 cashes. Is that what you said?
373 cashes.
Wow.
Another refresher.
And
29.
Mike
tour
Albee's
titles.
a legend.
2.25.
2.25 for Anthony.
I'm going 2.56.
Of course you would. You just don't want me to catch up to you.
All right. Mike Galby has made $2.04 million.
Oh!
How close am I now?
What do you mean? How like? I
Wait,
mean,
how
we
much-
have
total?
2
The
to
running
1.
total difference. I hope you're keeping
Total
track.
difference.
So wait, how much was it?
You picked what? 2 point what?
2 point.
I picked 2.25.
And it was 2.0. So
2.0.
200,000.
None of our. I mean, there was close. Paige Nelson was close.
Yeah, a lot of our viewers are very close to the correct answers. All right, what's number 4?
Number 4. This bowler has 30 national tour titles, 6 senior tour titles, and was a charter member of the PBA, joining in 1958.
Dick Weber.
He stole my thunder. It is, in fact, Dick Weber.
30 tour titles. Even though they were
Does this-
original
does
back
this-
then,
does this-
they still had some money back then.
But does it include inflation?
He's such an idiot.
He's had to made.
Had to made. Me good at talking.
Wow, Mitch Young, 750,000.
Wow, going real low.
In the 50s, bowling was big.
It was big. They made a lot of money. Well, at least some of the tournaments had a lot of
There
money.
was a lot more money in bowling back then.
Yeah.
Way more. I mean, this is gonna sound kind of low, but I'm gonna say 1.6.
30 tour titles.
1.6. Yeah, Paige Nelson and me, same brainwave.
Wow.
Wavelength.
Wow. I'm going 2.1.
Wow. I'm just going to say it, boys. Y'all are off. Dick Weber has made $930,000
Wow.
on tour.
130,000.
930.
130.
$930,000.
Oh, so I was close. Or than you.
What did you pick again? 1.6?
1.6.
Yeah, you
He
were
was closer than you.
$700,000 off.
I thought whatever. I mean,
I was $1.8 million.
there is no way I'm losing right now.
No, that blew it out of the water. Had to.
Who's the last guy?
No, we have 1 or 2 more left.
We have 2 more left.
Okay.
And Anthony, currently, you are like 700,000 up.
You don't even need to say how much I'm up by now. I always win against Kyle. I even say that to his kids. Oh, we're going to go bowling. Guess who's going to beat your dad? And then his kids will look at me and say, my dad's going to beat you. And I laugh. And I say, okay, it's all right.
All right, what do we got next?
Number 5. This bowler has 37 national tour titles, 11 senior tour titles, and joined the PBA in 1979 at the age of 17. He is Pete Weber.
Father-son duo.
Well, obviously, Mitch Young kind of gave me a hint here. He said his dad didn't break the million mark, but he did. 999,000.
Quite obviously,
No,
Pete
I'm just
Weber has made the Millionaire Club.
1.9.
The bad boy of bowling.
1.9 million, Austin. Write that down.
All right, I'm going to
4
give
million.
you guys.
Yeah, here's what I'm going to
Listen.
do. I'm going to
Hold on,
go
Kyle.
for the big number, and I'm going to say this will make me or break me because I'm going to guess 3.5 million.
Okay, that's a lot. I don't know. I just don't see Megan. I mean, he's been around forever. So, I mean, I totally could see it. What did I say? 1.9?
I'm gonna
Jacob
throw
Smith
an
agrees with me.
audible in this.
I'm just
game.
going to say, just say 2
Just
million.
for Pete
I'll make
Weber.
it 2 million.
Whoa! You're just going to switch up your vote just like that? Your
Well,
guess?
if you guys
$100,000,
let
Kyle,
me
makes
get
it
to
even,
what I'm
so that way it's
saying,
easier
You're
math.
gonna have a second guess as well, Kyle.
Say what?
You're gonna have a second guess too.
Why do
Just
I
for
get a second
Pete Weber.
guess? I don't want a second guess. I'm
Okay.
sticking with
I'm just-
You're locking
3.5.
it in?
It's not even
My
a second guess.
3.5 is locked in.
Okay. Just to clarify, Anthony is at 2 million.
Yes.
Kyle is at 3.5 million.
Easier math, Kyle.
All right. Pete Weber has totaled 4.05 million.
Woohoo.
That really swung it back together, didn't it? That had to like bring me way over the top.
I haven't been doing math, but 4 million is
I'm
quite a
doing
bit.
the math right now. Hold on.
Mitch Young guessed 4 million.
Mitch Young, if you just gave away the last answer, I don't know who Walter Ray is, but I'm coming for you, Mitch Young.
You talking
But
about you don't know who Walter Ray is.
well, no, I don't know who Walter Ray is. If that was, I don't know if it is Walter Ray for the last answer. I hope it's not. Austin, is it?
I'll get to it now. This bowler has 24 national tour
No, he has way
titles
more than
and
that.
is the record holder for the most ever national major titles won with 13.
Jason Belmont.
He is two-hander,
Ugh.
Jason Belmont.
$0.00. This ain't no Australian money.
So
Carl knows
what do
about that.
what do we got to win here? What do we need to win?
All right. Anthony's sitting at a $3.5 million difference.
$3.5 million
You are
difference.
sitting at 2.8.
Ooh, it's a tight race. 700,000 is nothing to sneeze at.
2.5 million.
That's basically what I was going to say. I'm going to say
You would.
2.2 million.
Oh, Carl Buckley, 400 million with those NFTs.
Oh, did you guys see my new NFT? This is it.
I was gonna make one, by the way.
Straight to you guys. There's my new NFT. Just if anybody wants to buy that, you let me know. We'll produce them like right away. NFT is me.
I forgot to make mine this week. I'm always gonna draw mine.
Anyway, so what
Are
did I
you
say? I
guys
said 2.2
interested
million,
in what?
and you said
2.5.
2.5 million.
2.5 for Anthony, 2.2 for Kyle.
I mean, he literally comes in second or wins almost every event.
Except
he
for
had
this
an off
last
year.
season. This last season was not
right,
very
but
good.
I mean, before that, he was absolutely dominant. So maybe you should say like 5.
Nope.
It's a lot of coercion going on the other side of this room.
Our answers are locked. We're locking in the answers.
All right,
I'm 2 point. What did I say?
2.5.
2.5. I'm
Ah,
2.2.
Jason Belmonte has won $1.81 million.
Woo!
I'm not going to do the math.
Did you say 1.1?
Kyle won the game. Yeah, 1.81 million.
Or 1.8.
1.8.
Okay, so I was
1
400,000 off.
Yeah.
Nice. Well,
That was good.
You were still over 3 million. Anthony was over 4 million.
the less this is good. Sorry, Mitch Young says that I look like the less cool version of Mark Wahlberg. I'll tell you what. If I look anything like Mark Wahlberg, I'm taking that as a serious compliment. Because Mark Wahlberg is the shiz. So I'll take that. What do you think?
You don't look like him at all.
No kidding. I was just from Boston and I just wanted to help you guys out.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
that's my impression.
I don't know. It's not very good. You need to work on it, Mark. All right.
So first winner of the
Right,
Guess
do
Their
wanna-
Earnings
I
game
do wanna
show.
say
I love it.
Before we
I'm
end
gonna have to do
that
some
segment,
research. Next time
you
we'll do
guys
a
tied
WPBA
on
one.
guesses.
What's that? We tied on what?
You guys tied on guesses. You each won 3 of the rounds. But
Yeah.
Kyle was
But
just
my
closer.
total was lower.
Yes.
Yeah.
correct.
I'm awesome. All right, let's get to our hot take because we are going long here. So I apologize, guys, but it is the mid-season, and we want to know if you guys are prepped for the rest of the year, and we're gonna figure out if we are.
I'm
you know,
definitely not.
You're not.
Never.
I guess you're never prepped when all you do is just drill one bowling ball after another.
Like as in like for myself.
Yeah.
I don't drill as many as you think.
I don't think that's true. I think
There
you
is a
drill
lot
a
more.
lot.
There's a lot more people who drill more than me.
Well, yeah, like T-Ray.
You're the worst. Actually, there's more people who drill more than me than I drill.
That's fine. That's
I know.
fine. But
I'm-
you do drill a lot.
Yeah, for fun.
Yeah. But we want to know, guys, how are your leagues going? If you want to let us know, is it going better or worse than you thought? Is your average up this year? Or are you down? Tell us how your league's going. Are you scoring well? Average update for us. I mean, I think 231 and 232 right now. You're 235 or something, right?
I'm like
37.
I'm 242 in one league, 236
I only looked at
another,
the
and
one, yeah.
234. I don't know.
Yeah, I only bowl one league a week and then practice.
Practice. We're talking about practice and tournaments.
We also want to know, how you guys feeling execution wise. It wasn't going good for me. Hopefully, this practice
Not
session
good.
turn things around for me.
Yeah, looking at midseason, what we were looking at is, what's your current average update? Are you feeling sharp?
No.
If you're not, then you need to go practice.
Practice.
Make sure you can really nail down what you're doing. If you're having problems with spares, make sure you have somebody watch you. Maybe you can come up with a different spare, a different process to make the spares. It's about all I do these days. So if you have questions, let me know. What else? We were looking at, what's that?
Unbelievable spare shooter.
I'm not gonna be able to walk out of this room. Is it time for a new ball? How old is your newest ball? How old is your oldest ball? Is it time to replace the oldest one? Is it time to just buy a whole new arsenal? Is it time to just get one new one? Even your spare ball. take a look at
or
everything.
even rejuvenate too.
Rejuvenate, yeah. So even if you don't want to buy new equipment, go to your pro shop, have them rejuvenate it, maybe take the oil out, resurface it, resand it, get it to be a little more back to factory surface to try to give you a little bit more performance. What else do we have here? We've got rejuvenate. Yep. Is it you?
It's always me.
Do you need to practice?
I do not ever blame equipment or lanes. It is 100% me. Always.
Yeah, I mean, it's been me for the past few weeks. Everything's been pretty good, but I'm also not sharp, so I'm not practicing enough. I do drill bowling balls all day long, not just for myself. I do drill for other people, I swear to God. Kind of makes it seem like I drill everything out. I don't drill everything, but yeah, and then the other thing too is talking about rejuvenation and getting your surface clean for your bowling ball and getting the oil out. If you don't clean your equipment after each set, I know some people don't. Some people are religious about it. Make sure you take the rejuvenator. If you don't clean it, you lose 5 boards of hook after 90 games if you've never touched it. Storm did do a little YouTube video on it. If you want to go check, they bowled 90 games with a ball that they cleaned and one that they didn't. They saw that the ball out of the box didn't hook as much, 5 boards less to be precise, they said, than a new ball did. So make sure you take care of your equipment. Get some new grips. Twice a year you should put some new grips in. If you bowl once a week, you might be able to get away with it.
Once a week with the same ball though, or bowl multiple times.
Right.
If you're switching throughout switching balls throughout the season, it's not as bad. Your grips may not wear as much.
But if you've got one ball,
right,
make sure you get them changed halfway through the year.
Even if you're a one night a week bowler, if you use that one ball every week, those grips are going to be destroyed even after a half a season.
Absolutely. I see a lot of guys' grips. I'm like, hey, man, you need some new grips. They're like, why? And they don't really know the reason. And then you give them new grips. They're like, holy crap, I throw the ball way better. I had a guy who said that. I throw the ball way better with these grips. I said, yeah, because you can actually use them. It
fits your hand better. The grips are functioning better, like you said. Yeah, you got to take care of your equipment.
Exactly. And then, like we said, practice.
Practice.
If you're not sharp, or if you feel like your scores aren't where they need to be, we are starting to practice on Wednesday night. I know we talk about it quite a bit, but Nationals is only 6 months away, not even 6 months away yet. And we had about 12 to 15 players here last night. I don't think it was quite 15, but we had about 12 players here of guys who just want to practice and some guys who are going to Nationals on some sport shots at 9:00 at night. It was good to see, a little refreshing.
Yeah, we've been talking about lane patterns and whatnot forever. But the difference was Eric, I think. Eric Oliver. He's one of our tournament club members.
One of our tournament club guys. Good guy.
He just doesn't have the experience on sports stuff. He's also new at bowling, but
just came back, I think, this year.
Right.
He's actually Austin's really good friend, and met him here, did that, and I think he said it was brutal.
Yeah. And he was talking about spare shooting, and we've got a couple of guys trying to learn how to throw straight at their spares. And again, I'll say it again, even on a house shot, if you're throwing plastic, you can still get a little bit of hook and leeway in your corner pins and your other spares. And when you go to a flat shot and you pitch it a little flatter shot. Sorry, but still, if you pitch it a little right and all of a sudden it doesn't have that little grip at the end,
right,
at the end of the lane, even on plastic.
It's going a little straighter. You might miss it. Yeah. I actually always use a little bit of grip. I use urethane.
Yeah, me
too. I always have a little bit of hook no matter what, typically, just a pinch. But yeah, so, he was out here, hasn't bowled. He said, I've never bowled on a sports shop before. He came out and he's like, I'm a little intimidated. And I was like, there's no reason to be intimidated, because I said, we're just bowling. There's no score. Well, we might keep score, but it's, it's to better yourself. It's not for anybody to say, oh, I'm better than you. No, it's come out, enjoy yourself, work on your fundamentals, work on learning the game a little bit more, try some new equipment out, which he did. He tried some urethane out too. And he seemed to enjoy himself after, and we're going to continue to host it every week. So hopefully he can make it some more sessions.
Yeah, working on your game is by far the absolute most important thing to do outside of bowling and league.
Right.
That's not the time to be practicing or working on your game, even though some of us might do that from week to week. But for me, I kind of explained it at the top of the show, I think. This practice session Wednesday and last night, all I did was focus on keeping my hand in the same position. A couple of them got away from me, but keeping my hand in the same position, no matter what shot I was on, because we did have 2 different shots on our pair.
We did. Yes, we did have
and
dual patterns.
Yes, and
for fun on one pair.
Just being able to get it off my hand consistently was so much nicer, because I've been struggling with my hand getting too far behind the ball. Even though some guys are really good at that, I'm not. And when I get my hand too far behind the ball, I'll either grab it or I'll drop it. It just never comes off the same. So getting my hand behind the ball and keeping it in the same spot is really what worked for me. So yeah, as far as equipment goes for me, I am looking at a UC3.
You're not looking at it.
It's coming.
It's ordered.
And the other thing that I need, because mine are getting pretty old, are shoes. The 3Gs, which are nice shoes, I found a problem that other bowlers have the same issue, is the heels break apart. And every time you put your shoes on, there's little white chips of plastic in the soles of your shoes. Comfort wise and everything else, they're good shoes. They feel good. I don't know if I'm going to switch or if I'm going to get another pair, but the outer edge of the shoe is starting to peel off. I got it caught on a piece of metal. So
Yikes.
now that is ripping
I
off.
have the
So
same
I-
exact
You're due.
issues.
Yeah, I've got to get a new pair of shoes, and all of my pads are bad, which, well, the one pad that I use is bad. And I know I can get new ones, but the whole shoe is starting to go, so it's going to be time for shoes.
Right. Speaking of equipment, Austin and Kyle, what is your favorite ball you drilled this year that came out this year?
It goes without saying for me. Of course, it's the purple. That thing has saved my butt.
The purple hammer.
That thing has saved my butt.
It's made you a good amount of money too.
Yeah.
I will say I knew you
In
were going to say
brackets.
that. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that, so I didn't put that on my list because I knew you were going to say that. It definitely is probably my ball of the year too. It is not new this year, but it is.
Yeah.
But I decided to go a ball that I really like is the Quantum Evo Solid.
Yeah.
I really like the Pearl too. I think the line's great. The Solid, the Evo Pearl is really going to fit in my bag well because it's kind of an all-purpose pearl that I can get away with more than my Zenith. This green one, the Solid, is it's a big ball. It complements my Zenith Solid really nicely, which was my favorite one. I was going to pick that one, but apparently it didn't come out until came out 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, so it didn't count. But the green one's going to complement that one really nicely. I didn't like the knockout black blue I've thrown. That one's probably going to be up there for a while because I really like the way that rolls. But for me, Quantum Evo Solid, and then honorable mention, Purple Hammer because Kyle did it, and the original Obsession Tour, the brown one, burgundy. So those were my favorite. My favorite right now is that green one.
I did like the green one. It rolled pretty nice, especially on the 40-foot pattern that we had last night. And it rolls real steady, and the pin action or movement is definitely
Dynamic
a little
Cord
different.
2.0.
But I haven't been able to use it enough, so I couldn't say it was my favorite. It is a nice ball, though. Austin, what you got?
Well, I'm also a fan of the Obsession line, but I had the regular Obsession.
You picked the regular Obsession. Isn't
That's
that the
pink
one?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't you? It was funny because I was actually going to pick the Obsession Tour too, and I'm like, that one hasn't been getting a lot of use. The green one's been getting a lot more use, so I'll pick that one. But the hammer stuff seems to be really popular here where I'm drilling. A lot of Widows. I'm surprised nobody said the Widow Ghost. I like it. It's just not my favorite. But we did a lot of Obsession Tour pearls. We did a lot of Obsession Tours, a lot of Obsessions, a lot of Widow 2.0s, a lot of Hammer Raws. So I've done a ton of hammer stuff here, which seems to be super popular, and it seems to be rolling well because a lot of us have done well with the hammer stuff.
Yeah,
over the
I've
past few
always liked
months.
hammer for a long, long time. So yeah, the only reason why I didn't put the Obsession on my list is because it is very condition specific the way we drilled it.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't get a lot of use because again, it's very specific for certain shorter patterns.
Yeah.
Because we wanted it to roll real early. So that's why I didn't mention it. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, Austin, that Obsession, you had your high set last year, no? You had like 300, 250, 300, 250?
Yeah. Yep. That was the Obsession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can see why you picked that one. But also, I think in his honorable mentions, he also had a Quantum Evo Pearl.
Yeah. That Dynamic Core is no joke, man.
No joke.
That throws pins around. I don't have another ball that throws pins around like that.
So yeah, that's what we're talking about. We're gonna be getting some new equipment. Don't forget to practice. Keep your equipment up to date.
Grips,
Make sure it's surfaced and gripped.
everything.
Because if you don't, it's just gonna make the rest of your season way more mediocre than it already is.
Yep.
All right, let's get to Bowler of the Week. We're running a little late here, so remember, if you guys would like to be Bowler of the Week or would like to nominate someone to be Bowler of the Week, go ahead and click the link in our show notes, in our Instagram and Facebook pages, and fill out that form. We will also post the link. I just said that in all of the show notes. There we go. I can read. This week, Anthony's picking the Bowler of the Week, who is...
The Bowler of the Week this week had their very first 300 on Tuesday night.
Hey-oop.
Funny enough, said person's parents come bowling every Monday, Tuesday. They weren't able to be here on Monday or Tuesday. And she shot 300. So congratulations to Deanna Lee. We don't have a picture because we picked it late. We had a little discussion about it, but congratulations. Deanna Lee is our Bowler of the Week. She had her first ever 300. Congratulations. It stinks because her parents come every week to bowling, and
they missed it.
They missed it this week. They weren't here.
She's bowled here her entire life, if I remember correctly.
Yep. We bowled in high school together on the high school team. She bowled in college for Schenectady Community College with my girlfriend. So she's always been an avid bowler. She's bowled forever. I don't think she might have. I don't even think she missed any time when she was in college after that as well. So congratulations to her. Great game.
All right.
Lost train of thought.
So remember, guys, if you would like to be Bowler of the Week or would like to nominate someone, go ahead and click the link in our show notes or on our social pages, and you can fill out the form, and we will go through the options and see who will be Bowler of the Week. All right, guys, it is time for us to go bowling. So please like this video, subscribe on YouTube, check out all of our social pages, and share this show with your friends because we need the reach. You can get
very needy.
Yeah, we are super needy.
You're very needy.
Don't forget, you can see us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you can't watch the show live, you can always download it on your favorite podcast outlet. And while you're doing that, please give us a 5-star review. You can check out our shop on Etsy. You can buy our Will Bowl for Food, Lefty Love, and Downlane Podcast shirts or hats. Or if you'd like to sponsor the show, please email us at downlanepod@gmail.com. And you can also email us there to make some show suggestions while you're at it. All right. Thank you, Austin VanBuren, the producer, Jack Scaccia, proprietor of Town and Country Lanes. And thank you, Anthony, for another great show.
I'd like to thank my girlfriend for letting me be here.
And her name is?
Janelle. Thanks for letting me be here.
And thank you to my family, Stephanie, Zach, and Ethan. We will see you next week. This is Downlane Podcast.